So OPPO just launched the latest phone in its highly underrated mid-range Reno brand. And it's this absolute stonker here, the Reno 16 Pro. And as usual, OPPO made this smartphone with the youth in mind. And as well you know, your Uncle Spurt is the voice of the youth. I have the soul of a sprightly 20-year-old, although also, regrettably, the knees and the liver of a geriatric rock star. I've been using the OPPO Reno 16 Pro as my full-time phone for over a week now. Even took it on a trip to Stockholm to see how it handles long days of roaming, with plenty of obligatory camera shenanigans, etc. So here's my full OPPO Reno 16 Pro review, and for more on the latest and greatest tech, please do poke subscribe, ding that notifications bell. Cheers! Now first up, this smartphone has shrunk quite a bit versus the previous generations. Now it's a similar size to the likes of the Xiaomi 17 and the Vivo X300. A deliciously compact 6.32-inch display, surrounded there, as you can see, by reasonably skinny symmetrical bezels. And of course you've got the usual flat edges, there's not really much in the way of curves. But that smaller stature means it is actually quite hand-friendly still, and it weighs under 200 grams, so pretty lightweight for a modern blower. And it's honestly interesting to see this trend back towards more compact sort of upper mid-ranges and flagships. Because honestly, I was worried the buggers would just keep on growing until we're all walking around with a 12-inch whopper in our pants. And the Reno 16 Pro certainly feels premium enough. You've got metal sides, of course. And then there's the rather striking arse end, which is constructed from matte glass and features this rather outlandish 3D pop planet design. I'm not sure if you'll actually be able to see this 3D style effect if you're just watching this on YouTube. But what you've got here is a sort of swishy space design that does actually appear to leap off that back end in a rather funky 3D effect. It is rather mesmerizing, I gotta say, some proper full-on Harry Potter bollocks. 3Deus Spaphius. Well, then it's also the kind of thing that you'll sort of admire when you first pull this thing out of the box and then sort of probably swiftly forget about. No one else will really be able to even tell that it's there because you'll be holding the phone like this, presumably. Seems quite a bit of effort for, I'm not really sure what point, but you know. I'm one of the first miserable old buggers to moan that all smartphones basically look and feel the same these days, so anything to help it stand out a bit has to be good. Oh, and of course this is the white model, but you can also snaffle the OPPO Reno 16 Pro in a starlight black colour. And so far this phone seems reasonably hardy. It's been stuffed into pockets of my shorts with, you know, DJI cameras and other bits, and so far no scratches or scuffs. You've got pre-installed screen protector, so that certainly helps, and it's IP68, 69 and 69K dust, water and spurt resistant, so it can be temporarily submerged in water, all that good stuff. Tolerate a severe spraying. Now to unlock the Reno, it is your basic optical in-display fingerprint sensor. It just takes a simple 2D reading of your print, but this seems to work absolutely fine. As you can see there, rather nippy to react, and also seems fine when my hands are quite greasy from the endless application of sun lotion this past week. Your hands have to be basically sopping wet for it to not recognize you. You've also got face recognition, which again is pretty swift to work, not quite as secure as that fingerprint sensor, but also doesn't seem to struggle to recognize you if you're wearing shades. It takes maybe a little bit longer just to double check it's you. And no surprises on the software, it's got a bit of ColorOS 16 slapped on top of Android. And OPPO is guaranteeing 5 OS updates and 6 years of security patching, so you're certainly good for the foreseeable. Not quite the best offering out there, like Google and Samsung offer 7 years, but yeah, you can't complain really. And as usual, ColorOS still one of my favourite manufacturer launchers. It's pretty easy to get on with, nice and smooth and slick. I particularly like the excellent customization options. You've got some very snazzy themes chucked in here. You can basically tinker with pretty much anything you fancy. And I just love the flow as well. Everything is just so smoothly animated. It's great stuff, honestly. But not perfect. However, for instance, you do have an arseload of crapware, as usual. Bloody AliExpress's, Amazon shenanigans, obligatory Temu. Thankfully, the majority of this can just be quickly and easily uninstalled with a couple of taps. And I've got 256 gigs of storage here on my review model, which I've actually used a massive chunk of already. Mostly thanks to Wuthering Waves and the fact that I've downloaded quite a lot of Crunchyroll for the trip and also shot tons of 4K video. If you're going to do similar, I believe you can upgrade to 512 gigs of storage, which is just as well because there's bugger all micro SD memory card support. It's got a double-sided SIM tray, and you do have the usual eSIM support as well. And ColorOS generally well behaved as well. I've had a couple of tiny wee bugs this past week, like for instance I had Do Not Disturb on and I still had notifications popping up anyway. I've just turned it off, turned it back on again, and then it was fine. And of course, you do have the usual obligatory AI shenanigans slapped on here, complete with a dedicated AI key over here on the left edge. If you tap that, then by default, it will basically capture all of the information on your screen and then hoy that all into your mind space, which is just kind of a way of remembering stuff. And especially good news if you're a decrepit old git like your Uncle Spurt. As you can see, it rips out all of the information from that screen grab, and then you can create little reminders based on it all. You can also search for it just with a quick request later. If you need to pull out any useful information but you can't be asked to search through your entire collection of screenshots. You could also keep track of your spending and all of the usual AI gubbins or translation, etc. Translation actually came in pretty handy in Stockholm. Not that everyone doesn't speak absolutely perfect English out there, better English than I do, obviously. But anyway, I've already wibbled on at great length about ColorOS 16 in a dedicated video all about it that I did last year, so go check that out if you want an in-depth look at all the best new bits, the features, etc. Now it's most definitely time for a hydration break. Not used to double-digit temperatures up north, that's for sure. Now, smushed onto the front end of the OPPO Reno 16 Pro, you got yourself a 6.32-inch AMOLED display, wee bit more compact than usual. I was still happy enough, kicking back with a good bit of Netflix and Crunchyroll on this thing. I've even watched entire World Cup matches on it, which isn't ideal, got to admit. Occasionally struggled to see where the ball actually was in some of the more pulled back views when it's like a crazy goal-mouth scramble. Well, that's nothing to do with the sharpness of the screen. It certainly is still a nice crispy 1.5K resolution. It's just my peepers are old and knackered. You've got HDR10 plus streaming in supported apps. Some gorgeous contrast, perfect wide viewing angles. I really like the vivid screen color modes. It just brightens images up a wee bit, gives those colors a bit more of a vivid, vibrant kick. And I have bugger all complaints as far as the brightness is concerned as well. It gets nice and dim for that more comfortable, easy on the eye, low light view, and complete with all the usual blue light filtering and all that stuff. But also pleasingly powerful when you are outdoors on a sunny day, so you can still see what's going on despite lots of screen glare. You can see this is only on sort of like half brightness at the moment. We've boosted all the way up. No issues there whatsoever. Refresh rate, of course, your usual smooth 120 Hz, can actually be boosted up to 144 Hz for supported games. And if you're quite sensitive to OLED flicker, well, no worries, because you've got 3840 Hz PWM dimming. Hopefully stop the old hurty head shenanigans. And the OPPO Reno 16 Pro sports a stereo speaker setup, though the top speaker is just that earpiece jobby. Not quite as powerful as the bottom one, which is mounted on the edge. But the balance is still respectable. The clarity is pretty good when you boost up the volume, and it does get proper loud when you do so. Could use a bit more bass, a little bit more grunt, but overall, can't complain. I've had a couple of tiny judders on the Bluetooth when streaming to earbuds this past week, but generally in quite busy built-up areas, otherwise been absolutely flawless as well. Now, performance comes courtesy of MediaTek's Dimensity 8550 chipset, backed by 12 gigs of RAM. I've certainly found for your everyday shenanigans, does the job nicely. Apps run beautifully, load up straight away. You can do side-by-side multitask and all that good stuff. As for gaming, well, you got the usual HyperBoost tech on board here, which can prioritize your gaming session by murdering other tasks in the background and generally managing your phone's resources. And I found that with the Ultra Gaming mode switched on, the Reno 16 Pro happily handle Wuthering Waves even on the highest graphic settings, although don't exactly expect a silky smooth 60 frames per second experience. That frame rate mostly bounced around in the sort of 40s and low 50s. Still nice and smooth, still more than playable, no worries at all, just not up there with the absolute best. You've got a built-in vapor chamber as well, so thankfully the phone didn't heat up too badly when gaming. It does get quite warm to the touch around the back end, but that heat is neatly dissipated, so the gaming performance does not suffer. In fact, the only time I saw any consequence of the heat build up here was when I was shooting a lot of 4K video back to back, at which point the screen did actually dim. A little message popped up just saying, you know, screen brightness been turned down a wee bit just to stop this thing from spontaneously combusting. Thankfully, it didn't stop me recording or anything. The phone didn't reboot, and that was in proper full-on 30-degree heat as well, so not too surprising. And you've got an excellent gaming mode on here as well, which you can swipe into existence like so. As you can see, I've got it in the Pro Gamer mode at the moment, but there is a power saving mode as well. If you flip down to tools, got a whole bunch of stuff in here you can piddle about with as well. You can screenshot, record the action. Got some random stuff like voice changes as well, if you fancy a bit of all that. So certainly the ColorOS, bollocks. Get my ass kicked by some massive guy. What a twat. And while the OPPO Reno 16 Pro may have shrunk down a wee bit compared with some of the older Reno smartphones, that doesn't mean that the battery has suffered, because you've still got an almighty 6,700 mAh capacity cell crammed into this more compact chassis. And I was certainly grateful when I buggered off to Sweden with this thing, because it meant zero holiday stress whatsoever. Even with 6 or 7 hours of screen on time, lots of camera play, including shooting a lot of 4K video, plenty of navigation because I had absolutely no idea where I was at any given moment. I still generally ended most days with at least 20% battery life remaining. The only time I managed to get it down into proper power saver mode was on the way back, because on top of all the usual camera navigation, etc., also watched a lot of Crunchyroll on this thing, had it doing Android Auto for about an hour for the drive back from the airport, and then I streamed an entire World Cup match when I got home. So finally staggered into bed after about like a 20-hour day, and yeah, still had some battery remaining, which is always great to see. And hey, even if you're gaming non-stop on Wuthering Waves with the volume boosted all the way up, the screen brightness max, the ultra performance mode switched on, etc., you can still expect over 5 hours of action on a full charge, closer to 5.5 hours actually, so solid all-round effort. Now, if you do need to give it a top up for whatever reason, well, no worries, you've got 80 watt wired charging, Super VOOC or whatever it's called. So you can plug a cable in it and get a significant amount of charge in just 10 minutes. My only real complaint is that once again there is bugger all wireless charging support, which is a shame for a sort of more of an upper mid-range. I would expect to see that starting to creep in. I mean, I've got to complain about something, this bloody thing. And so my lovelies, let's conclude this lovely wee OPPO Reno 16 Pro review. A bit of a squint at the camera tech. And as you can see, unlike the flagships, there is bugger all Hasselblad branding. So none of that Hasselblad fine-tuning, but you've still got a comprehensive camera app, including a pop mode. You can piddle around with various different filters, get a very different vibe to your pics if that's your bag. You can play around with the color temperature, brightness, all that kind of stuff. And that's about as complex as it gets, though, I guess, because this is aimed at the youth. There's no full-on dedicated pro mode, just a high-res mode if you want to shoot in the full 200 megapixels. And just using the regular photo modes, I was really happy with most of the results here. As usual with OPPO, you get close to natural looking contrast. Those darker areas aren't unnaturally boosted up as they are with those Apple and Samsung shaped smartphones. In softer light, some of my photos were a wee bit noisy, but nothing too ugly, thankfully. And colours are usually well reproduced even when the conditions are a bit darker, so those bright, vibrant subjects still really stand out rather nicely. And once again, this Reno has proven itself particularly dependable when snapping living subjects. Even if they're on the move and even in less than perfect lighting, the Reno 16 Pro usually captures a blur-free still. So this phone's certainly ideal for owners of cats or kids. You just want to try and snap a bit of wildlife like these French fry thieving buggers at a brewery we visited. Gotta say, however, the portrait results aren't always the best. Occasionally that edge detection isn't quite on point and the results can look a bit smudgy. Now, in addition to the main 200 megapixel shooter, you've also once again got yourself a 50 megapixel telephoto snapper with 3.5 times optical zoom. And this again is ideal for those wildlife pics, so you can get a bit closer to your subject without making them too jumpy. Likewise, great for touristy stuff, just grabbing a more unique perspective or whatever. And thankfully, swapping to this sensor doesn't produce significantly different results as far as tones and contrast are concerned. At night time, the telephoto is less effective, producing noticeably softer shots as it's a smaller sensor, but you don't get too much grain sneaking in, thankfully. And then lastly, you've also got yourself a 50 meg ultra wide angle shooter, which again came in quite handy on holiday when I was trying to shoot quite a sizable scene. And if you want to shoot a good bit of home movie action, well, you can record footage at up to 4K resolution at 60 frames per second, and that is with HDR switched on. And again, I was perfectly happy with the bright, colourful footage spaffed out by the OPPO Reno 16 Pro. Switching between the main and the telephoto sensors as you're shooting can be a wee bit jarring. but you'll still get some good looking video using that zoom. And I gotta say, hugely impressed by the auto horizon correction feature, which can correct up to 5 degrees of tilt, and it basically kicks shaky footage right in the crotch. Incredibly handy if you're moving and shooting at the same time, and particularly useful if you've, say, had a few pints of super strength Swedish beer before whipping out the phone to capture some video. Well, it even works surprisingly well again with that telephoto camera, and I got subtle complaints with the audio capture here. Either the distortion due to windy, gusty shenanigans is negligible, and voices are clearly picked up, even in rather testing conditions. And of course, did you even have to ask? Yes, you got the usual AI bollocks slapped on here to do stuff like this AI remix collage, for instance. So I can select any video here on this phone to use as the background, like for instance these geese being absolute dicks and just chasing each other about the place. And then I can create a sticker out of another video that I shot of my lovely face. And then I'll just stick myself in this corner here. And there you have it. What a masterpiece. Gonna blow up Instagram, that is. And then finally, up front on the OPPO Reno 16 Pro, you got yourself, as usual, a 50 megapixel selfie snapper. So absolutely banging for your bit of vlog action if you're a youth and you do your bit of vlogging. 4K resolution at 60 frames per second. Once again, you can get a more wide-angle view if you want to fit in all of your great mates all doing a lovely little vlog together. I'd imagine that would be very nice indeed. And there you go, my lovelies. That in the most delicious of nutshells is what I reckon of the OPPO Reno 16 Pro. Aimed at the youth of today, yet reviewed by a decrepit, dehydrated, knackered old northern twat. And yet despite this, I do absolutely bloody adore this thing, I have to say. I love the more compact design, no sacrifice into the likes of the battery life or the performance, though you can happily game on the likes of Wuthering Waves and the most demanding titles. You know, take this thing on holiday, have it on basically all day long and don't have to worry too much about that battery life. The camera tech, not flawless, but certainly excellent for an upper mid-ranger like this. The design is rather funky. Still not really sure why, but it's a thing. So overall, very few complaints other than the fact you don't have the wireless charging, of course. That's what I reckon of the OPPO Reno 16 Pro. Be great to hear your thoughts down in the comments below. Please do subscribe and ding that notifications bell for more on the latest and greatest tech. I have rounded up my favourite mid-range smartphones. I need to update that video actually. I'll probably do that rather soon because I've had a couple of other bangers in. But alternatives around this sort of price point, you can also look at the likes of the Honor 600 Pro and the Xiaomi 17T, which I've also recently reviewed here on TechSpert. And if you don't mind a bigger phone, I also am still a massive fan of the Poco X8 Pro Max, which again packs a fantastic bit of battery life, slick performance. Camera tech not as good, but it is also cheaper as well, which is always a bonus. Anyway, enough of me banging on. Have yourselves an absolutely ruddy, wonderful rest of the week. Cheers, everybody. Love you.